Hi everyone, I'm Judge Desire for Knowledge. Thank you for joining me on my show, Know Your Truth, Real Talk. Today and subject is about last weekend's Father Day weekend. Happy belated Father's Day to all of you. I was out and about and travels out of the country and was not able to actually do my Father's Day presentation as I normally do Mother's Day and Father's Day. You can go back and check that on my videos, my past videos that for Mother's Day, as well as today I will be doing Father's Day here on Know Your Truth Real Talk. Please like, share, and subscribe here on YouTube. I am also broadcasting on IAAH Radio with the best DJs and music in town. So check them out. They have R&B, house music, everything. You find your channel on their channel, what you like. Believe me, you'll enjoy all those DJs out there. And as well as one of my favorite DJs, Bugging Heart. All right, so, and thank you, DJ 5am, for broadcasting my show there on IAAHradio.com. Thank you so much. So the subject today is, of course, fatherhood for Father's Day weekend. What does Father's Day look like to you? And what is fair? What is it really fair for fathers to celebrate when they didn't participate? So basically, that's what I'm talking about. Today, I did the same for Mother's Day. Do you think it's fair for fathers to participate, celebrating on Father's Day, the same way that all the actual fathers that have done the work or dads that have done the work celebrate? Because sometimes you're not even going to know that the ones that say, yeah, I'm a father, just like I'm a mother, are out there, but they didn't do much. Whatever the reasons are, do you think they have a right to participate the same way those that have done their work as a parent, as a father? Do you believe that they should? So that's my question today. So I brought this subject up so that we could relate with it. I'm not doing live, unfortunately, today because I have events later and I cannot do live today. So I wish I can actually chat with you live, but I can't. But as long as you're listening to this broadcast and the show on YouTube, you can leave your comments here and let me know what you feel about it and bring your truth. I'm bringing mine on Know Your Truth Real Talk. So we're going to start with, what does a father look like to you? Is it made of someone that has an image of being one, or is it more important of to you of a father that is considered one? In other words, having a father as a father or an image of a father, which one do you believe is better? Because an image is just someone that you're stating, oh, that's my dad. And a father is someone that has done their job. But we have two types of fathers here, I like to say, because anyone could create a child and not be there. So this whole illustration that I'm going to go through right now is what my content is going to state. I'm going to try to go slow so we can get this right, because I notice when I rush too fast, it jumbles all together, and that's not what I want. So is it more important to you of having an image of a father, or a father being a father? That's more important to you. Some fathers can be considered dads and some are just fathers. I will explain what the differences are between the two here on my show, Know Your Truth Real Talk. Okay, so a father can spend their life raising their child or children, whichever one it applies to you if you have more than one. Some don't spend the quality time to get to know their child or children. I'm not talking about the fathers that who were not able to see the children due to other parents' refusals to cooperate, making it difficult due to their dislike for one another. But so that has nothing to do with the child or children, I wanted to say, whether they want to get along or not. You were together before at some point. You did like each other or love each other. So the point here is not going to be how we refuse to see the child and that makes them not a father. Actually, a father that wants to see his child but is being refused through the courts because of someone that's blatantly out to destroy, get, revenge or whatever the case may be is totally different than what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those fathers that willingly choose not to be a part of a child's life, okay? So let's get that clear because we know there's a lot of people that don't want to deal with the other partner and they let their children go. And then there's them that will fight for their children. So that's what I'm talking about. And with that being said, versus a father figure who is also a dad to the child or children. This can be anyone. It doesn't have to be blood, biological blood. Um, does not make you a dad, so let's get that right. And it doesn't make you a dad or a father. Let me explain, because I want to decipher the difference between a father and a dad, on this show if I can. Um, like I said before, that blood does not make you a father. If you haven't done and stood up to the plate to do your job, regardless of all that comes up against you, then you know who you are to your child. And your child will know who you are to them. A dad is someone, I'm going to explain what dads are first before I go into the difference of a father. A dad is someone who makes the effort to spend time with their child or children, no matter what type of day he had at work. A dad is someone who does not abandon his child or children, no matter what the circumstances are. A dad is a person who has unconditional love for their child or children, whether the child or children are foster children, adopted, stepchild, children, a godchild or godchildren in guardianship, or whatever the capacity of your title is to a child. It's not just a title, it's an action. And that action says you're a dad, then you're a dad. You do not ever feel like biologically, just because you don't have the blood rights, there is no such thing as that. Your right as a parent is your action. All right. So what you do, to me, details who you are to a child. All right. And I'm personally speaking for myself and own experience. All right. A dad is one who makes the time to listen to his child, regardless, or children, or regardless of what mistakes he made in the past, and doesn't hold it against the child or vice versa. The child should never hold it against their father. The issue, I always want to say, was never with the children and should never be with the children. The issue is with the parents that they were with, married to, in a relationship, because you had to create this child with someone else, right? They just show up. So basically, this is the problem that we have in society today. A lot of parents aren't doing their job for the children. It's more or less, let me see what I can do to get someone's money or get revenge on them because they're doing better than me, or whatever the case may be, they're not with me. So now I need revenge. These are not the things that we need to do when it comes to our children. That's one of the things I wanted to say. So a dad is not that. A dad is someone that knows that when things are the things and mistakes that was made, and even the decision of who you had the child with, your child is never a mistake. The children were never the mistake. You may have made the mistake with the wrong person to have the child with. That happens. I know for a fact it happens. And we may not acknowledge it or want to talk about it, but this is Know Your Truth, Real Talk, and we're going to be real. It's the truth. You all can deny it all you want, but sometimes we make the mistake of having children with the wrong people. And this is why it's important to sit back and really consider before you lay down, because it's not that easy. It is easy to do lay down, but then when you lay down, you have consequences with, whatever choices you have made. So to move forward with that, about a dad, I just wanted to say wholeheartedly, the bond is more than giving child support for a dad, um, and children money when they ask. It's more than that. And that's what a dad is. A dad recognizes when the child or children are being manipulated, but still tries to understand it. A dad teaches their child right from wrong so they can succeed in life, because that's the type of person they want their child or children to become: successful. A dad gives his children all the tools they need to excel in life. It's up to that child to utilize those tools to make them work. So if one parent is putting it in and the other isn't, it might happen that your child fail, because really, in the end of everything, it takes 50 and 50 to bring 100% together. So your child may not make it. You can't blame anyone. Do not point fingers at either parent, but you do your job and you give them those tools to excel. If they fail and utilize it for whatever reasons and resources they want outside of excelling, let them. They will fall or not fall. The point is, this is a learning tool for them as it was for you. It has been learning tools in life, and that's what we're here for: to learn, to figure it out. This is Earth, the learning planet. We're here to figure everything out. And God sits back and watches so that we can learn from mistakes, not get revenge from it. Um, and now I'm going to go into the differences between dad and a father. All right? A father contributes to creating a child and can also forget that they even existed from birth, unfortunately. A father does not use the children or child to manipulate the circumstances, but they may, due to facts of not having the existing relationship. They may use it. They shouldn't, but they may use the children to manipulate the circumstances. They shouldn't, but they may. These are fathers, not a dad. A dad would know better. A father does not seek revenge of the relationship if it didn't work out and both parties have moved on, but they might, because a father is not a dad in the relationship. He's just a father, what we call, what I just mentioned earlier, it's blood. And because it's a blood thing, that your relationship with your child is through blood, but you haven't been present in that child's life, this can actually become a revengeful thing in a relationship by not seeing your child out of revenge to the parent, or vice versa, because I've used this in my Mother's Day show as well. And you should go see that. I don't want to get into that one. But a father should not seek revenge, but most of them would, not all of them. A dad doesn't do that. So this is my differences. And a father should not and use mind games to be spiteful. It will only backfire later on, and some would. They don't pay child support. They run from the court system. I know, I've seen it in the court system where I work, that they have tried to run, but you can't hide because their licenses will be suspended. I'll do a show on what could be suspended as far as child support and other things if you do not agree or come to the courts to satisfy judgments. I'll do a show on that eventually on my legal matters, which I do monthly. So come check that out. It's every end of the month. I believe next Saturday will be my legal matters show. Not sure what I'm going to put on there, but come check that out. But a father that does that, as being spiteful and will only backfire on them later on. You will and can be arrested on a suspended license. So when you're not paying child support and you're running away and you have a car, and I've seen people stop driving just because of it. These are things that make you a father figure, but not a dad, because a dad don't need to run and hide from their child. A dad is going to take responsibility, pay their child support, or even better, not even bring it to the court because he knows his duty. Some parents, males, have done this. They have done their part, and then I have seen that the females have come and taken their money anyway, even if they're doing their part. So I understand, fathers. It's not easy. Seek counsel. Make sure your child is getting exactly what you give out if you're not able to see the child, or whatever the circumstances may be. I'm going to put a show out on that, on legal matters as well. I think I do have a video out there. I don't remember the title at this time, but I'm not picking up for males. I'm just saying the statistics shows what it shows and the facts of facts. And since I work in the system, I've seen it, I know it, and it still exists as being this is how it's done by to fathers a lot. And I feel sorry for most of you that are doing their job. I'm not the ones that have actually not tried to take care of their children and have to be forced, and you're still hiding. Some people are working off the books. Some people are trying not to get found. That's sad. You know, eventually, please do not celebrate if you're doing those things. A father is someone who can also be called a dad, but only and if they have done their part. If your child is calling you by your first name, then not only do we call that disrespectful, that's not friendship. This is your child. You can have a friendship with your child, but I don't think any child should be calling, or young adult should be calling their father or mother by their first name unless they're distant from them and they're trying to show you that you're not existent in their life or that you were distant. So always look at what the child does as they become an adult and how they treat the relationship with you. And you can tell if you felt like your job was done or wasn't done. Talk with your child, keep in contact with your child if you're not a part of their lives, everyday lives. It's important that you try to keep that relationship and whatever that was manipulated into the child, if manipulation was done, that you can work it out and tell them the truth of your side. Because one side is not the story. It takes two sides. They'll figure it out eventually. If they was manipulated for years, it may take a process. But if they weren't manipulated, they automatically are going to know. If they're adults by now, you should learn that you're an adult now. Listen to your parent, or your parent should listen to you and work it through. But either way, these are the differences between a dad and a father. In my case, a dad is someone who has unconditional love for their child and or children, and never have to be told right from wrong in a situation because he already knows. Whereas a father will tend to do the things I've illustrated and be known for just being a father to a child or children, but nothing more. And you don't want that. Um, my question here that I want to ask is, do you, because I love asking these questions when I'm live. Unfortunately, I'm not, but I'm still going to ask it because I have my own opinion. Do you think that a father who has not showed up for his child or children participating in celebrating Father's Day, like the dads who have done the work? Now, I can't pause too long to wait for an answer because I'm not live today. My answer is no, because as I stated in the Mother's Day content that I did for them, I believe the person who participated in that child or children's life in some capacity, even a little bit, no matter what happened, should celebrate those who carries the title. I'm sorry. Yeah, who carries the title. The title is just a title, but who has done the action, who has actually been there, should be the one and to celebrate Father's Day. Because every day is Father's Day and Mother's Day if you're doing your part. And that the other ones who just carry the title of father, not really truly living it out, and that is definitely not a dad. I think that you should bow out gracefully if you know you did not put in the work, whether your child tells you this or not. Some children, they're very selfish when they grow up because of the hate and manipulation that they were taught by either party. So they'll make you feel that way, but it's not true if you have been doing your part. But if you haven't, then bow out. It's not meant for you to say and act like a father until you do your job. I said the same for mothers on that show. And I will say it again. If you didn't put the work in, then there's no reason for you to celebrate that day. until you do. And it's never too late, though. You know, there's always going to be positivity on my show. It's never too late. You can start now. If they choose to communicate with you or not, you can still start doing something about it. And I hope all the responsible fathers we can call dad had a wonderful and well-deserved Father's Day last weekend, and I was out and about. That show is up in the Dominican Republic. I had a great time and I wanted to put that show out. So if you're hearing me on the broadcast IAAH radio, go check me out, Judge Desire for Knowledge on YouTube. And here on YouTube, go check those videos out too. I'll be putting up another one, my finale, leaving the Dominican Republic very soon, today, maybe tomorrow. But I hope you had a well-deserved Happy Father's Day, that you all deserve good Mother's Day and Father's Day, but we're talking about fathers today. And enjoyed it, and have future ones with your children. And so please like and share this video, or at least subscribe and like. If you don't want to share, someone will see it and then share it with others. But with that being said, as you know, I have my little gavel here for Know Your Truth Real Talk, here on Know Your Truth Real Talk with me, Judge Desire for Knowledge, where I tell, where we talk the truth and nothing but the truth, is now adjourned. And I will see you next week, Saturday, at 3 o'clock, live or taped. Thank you, IAAH Radio Broadcasting, and with the best DJs and music in town. Go check them out. Ciao.